Hi, this is Louis Gossett Jr.
This is Eva Marcel.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Chili, and you're listening to Amazing Women of Power.
Three, two, one. Live from Los Angeles, the entertainment capital of the world, it's the Talk Show Maven Tonight Show, starring Raven Blair Glover. Tonight's guests are Michael Senoff, founder of JS&M Sales and owner of the world's #1 business and marketing detailed interview website, hardtofindseminars.com. Jennifer Quinn, host of The Jenny Q Show, speaker and MC. Jackie Morey, co-founder of Customer Strategy Academy and #1 international best-selling author. And our love, sex, and happiness expert, Parrish Michelle Blair, with another sizzling hot topic honoring masculine energy, how to give your man the pleasure he deserves. And now, we invite you to sit back, relax, kick your shoes off, grab your favorite drink, and get ready to have some all-around fun. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Raven!
Hello, and welcome to the Talk Show Maven Tonight Show. We are so glad you are here. Thank you for being here. Wow, what a week! What a week. Are you guys feeling like me? I mean, has it been crazy? It has been crazy. It's been up, it's been down, adrenaline's running high. It's been so much going on. Let's all take a deep breath and relax. Because we got some guests tonight that are really, really good. We're really, really excited about them. Can't wait to bring them on. And guess what? You know them. But before we get into that, I kind of want to talk to you about how are you feeling today? After all the stuff that's been going on, I should say, with the voting and now a newly elected president. Ah, how does that make you feel? Are you pushing through okay? We've had so many people that are having such a tough time about it. I actually went out and spoke to some people, was hoping to bring that to you today, but that's okay. We'll bring it to you. Probably we'll sprinkle a little bit throughout the week. So make sure you stay plugged into Talk Show Maven Show. But I just want to just tell you, hey, you can only control the controllable, the let it go. Just let it go and move on. And I hear a lot of people say, but with Trump in, this is going to be going on, that's going to be going on, and they're speaking so much bad stuff. Stop it. If you're a big believer of the law of attraction and what you speak about, you bring about, you will stop the madness and tell yourself, no, 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 I'm not going there. I'm wishing the best. Maybe he'll take his medicine. Yeah, just keep him on his meds and we should be okay. And just hope for the best. Just hope for the best. I think Obama is being a great leader. Can you imagine having to sit there and show someone what to do after they said that, they questioned your birthright, they questioned all this stuff, and you have to train them. So if he can get through it, we definitely can get through it. But I want to say hello to you. Welcome to the show. I'm excited, excited, excited about you being here. We're going to bring on our first guest in just a second. And I'm really excited about bringing her on because I met her a while back, and she's just an amazing lady. And her name, are you ready for this? Are you ready for her? I hope you're ready for her because, I got to tell you guys this. One thing for sure is I am showing people and introducing you guys to all talk show hosts. Is that cool or what? Yeah, every single person. I cannot go any further until I tell you this. And this was not by design. This was not by all. But what happened, I said, wait a minute. Every single one, they are a radio host. They have mastered the art of sharing their voice, getting their message to the world. And I'm such a big believer in that. I'm such a big believer in that. All of them are talk show hosts, and that's a good thing. And I'm a big believer that if you don't have a show, you should have one. So I'm hoping that you guys will be inspired by hearing them. And they didn't know they were going to come on here necessarily talk about their show, but I just want them to share a little bit about why they decided to have a radio show. And I thought that would be great for you guys to hear from them. And I said, wow, I kind of like this. This is my first show, which every guest is a host. Yeah. So Jackie Murray, or Murray, she'll correct me. Anyway, she has been featured everywhere. NBC, CBS, Fox, ABC. And she's a wife and a mother of two children, co-founder of Customer Strategy Academy. Yeah, she is. And she is multiple #1 international best-selling author, a webcast production specialist, and a web TV host of the 21st Century Legacy Letters. And this is a show that she's been airing, and it helps leaders and professionals broadcast their genius and publish their legacies. And I'm so excited to bring her on. So I'm going to bring her on now, and she will tell you a lot more. She'll also make sure I pronounce her name right. So Jackie, if you
Hi.
are there, where are you originally from? Where are you originally
Well, my parents are from the Philippines. I was born in San Diego, California, but I grew up in the Philippines, so I'm bilingual. I'm completely bicultural. So, but I've lived longer in the States than I
Okay.
have in the Philippines.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. How has your week been going? What do you guys say about all this crazy? Let's cheer all the listeners because we're also airing in iTunes live on our radio station,
Right?
Amazing Women of Power. So cheers to all that. Now let's take a sip.
That's right. Let's take a
Mm.
sip. Mm.
I'll do like
Mm, mm, mm.
I'm at a restaurant, kind of spin it and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So, girl, how was your week? I mean, is it as crazy as I thought?
Well, yes,
Really?
my week has been up and down. Monday was not so good, then Tuesday was great. Wednesday was, so-so, and then Thursday was wonderful. So it's just been, but that's what life is about, where you just have
Yeah.
to face it and be grateful in whatever situation.
Well, I'm talking about the voting. How was it for you? How was the lines and stuff like that? Did you have a lot of lines you had to get through?
Here in the state of Washington, which I live in Seattle suburbia, we have mail-in votes. So we mailed ours, actually
Ah,
delivered ours to the courthouse. So we just dropped it
oh,
off.
well,
We
that is
didn't have, yeah.
cool.
Where I used to live
That
in
is
Texas,
so
yeah, we
cool.
had to go to the booths, the polling booths.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Houston? No, where are you at again?
Washington State, so I'm in Seattle suburbia.
Okay, but you used to live in Texas.
I used to live in Texas for
Uh-huh.
about 18 years. Now I'm in Washington State since 2001.
Oh my God. I'm Houston. I could move from Houston in 2012,
Oh my
and it
goodness.
was pretty, yeah, it's been a while. I'm like you, it's been a while. So, I was saying at the beginning of the show, this has been an up and down. I mean, we were talking to some of the people yesterday. I was hoping to air I'm going to air it next week and probably sprinkle in some tomorrow of people how they were feeling, and some people felt like, oh my God, this is the worst thing. I don't know if I want to just catch a flight somewhere else and all this stuff. So I'm just curious, how are you and your family? And to me, it doesn't matter who you vote for, but how are you feeling? Periods. And for me, I feel like I'm glad the thing is over with because it
Oh
was
yeah.
driving me crazy just being on all the time. What's
Yeah.
some of your thoughts?
Yeah, well, we purposefully and intentionally did not watch the news because, well, first of all, we don't have TV, but we can still tune in, through the internet.
Hmm.
We purposefully
Hmm.
did not tune into the news because it was just so much for us. It was really hurting our uh,
Yeah.
hurting us emotionally and spiritually because there was so much bashing, and that's not who we are. My husband and I really want to honor people, and there was so much dishonor, and so we just tuned it all out. We voted for whom we voted for, and we're just in a good place right now because we are going to respect who the president elect is. Like you said, it doesn't really matter. I'm sure he's going to do his best. So we're just grateful that we are here in the greatest country in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the way we have to look at it too. I agree 100%. I agree. Now I know I got a picture now showing of you and your family. How cool is that? So you got two little ones.
Yes, Michael and Alyssa. Michael is 6 and Alyssa is 4, and they're both in school. Alyssa goes to preschool and Michael is in first grade. So she goes 3 days a week and Michael goes every day of the Monday through Friday.
So tell us about your show, the 21st Century Legacy Letter Show. And this is the new show that launched this year.
Yes, we launched end of July 27th, and I did, let's see here, I think I did 15 episodes, and so I closed that out for season 1, and I'm going to edit all those videos, the recorded videos, and then I'm going to launch them, and then I'll start season 2 at the beginning of the year.
And I'm
And
just
well,
curious, what got you to start doing this type of show? Because I think it's really interesting to have a show like yours. Where did that inspiration come from?
a great question. Well, there's this Marcus Aurelius, who was one of the last of the 5 good emperors. He said, "What we do now echoes in eternity," and I really believe that every single person on the face of this earth has something to say and a legacy to preserve. And so, what can people expect when they watch the 21st Century Legacy Letter Show? Is that they can expect riveting stories, right? They can expect life lessons, they can expect powerful wisdom keys. What else? They can also receive hard-earned life hacks, Raven, plus game-changing strategies and compelling legacy lessons. And then, some people have been very successful as entrepreneurs like yourself. So we
Hmm.
talk about how to unlock doors to business and career success, and then also prosperity in family, personal and professional relationships. And how the show came about, Raven, is that my dad. when his father when he was young, his father took him to the top of this chapel, and he said, "Look, son, as far as your eyes can see, that's all our land." But then my grandpa, my dad's dad, passed away when my dad was only about 13 years old. So he saw
Hmm.
all the land of our family, and then his uncle, my dad's uncle, took over the property, right? All of those that the land. And my dad's uncle, he had an opium addiction, Raven. So what happened was he sold pieces of land, little by little, and what was left was just the family home. So for me, that really impacted me, and I said, "Oh my goodness, our legacy was squandered." And that's what I hope for everybody, is that we preserve legacies, because the wealthiest places on earth are not in gold mines or diamond mines, right? They're in graveyards just a few miles from you, where you and I live. There are companies that have never been
Yep.
started. There are inventions never birthed.
Mhm.
There are stories never recorded. There are poems and songs never written. And so my show, the 21st Century Legacy Letter Show, I hope to inspire people to start preserving their legacies, whether it's their books, their love stories, their life hacks, their life lessons, right? So that's what I hope to
Yeah.
inspire, Raven, because I don't
Well,
want
that's a
I don't
lot.
want any more legacies to die when people die. I want them to be preserved for the next generations to come.
Absolutely, absolutely. Les Brown is famous for saying that, that the richest place in the world is the graveyard, because
You're
people
right.
die with their dreams inside. So I know what you're talking about. That is 100% right. And so that's why I feel like what you're doing, you definitely deserve, to, let me just say this, you deserve to get a big, how about that?
I love
Because
it.
seriously, well, it's something that's important. I like to tell people, and I tell many of my clients, it's all about being a living legacy now. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes.
And then that's extended. And how cool is that? Because it's a lot easier now than it's ever been.
Oh,
Ever
totally.
been.
It
So
truly.
share a couple stories of some of the things that your show is about, or one of your clients is about. Just maybe one or two real quick ones to kind of paint the picture to our audience. And then we want to hear something juicy about you, something sexy about you, something silly about you, but we'll stick to business right now.
Well, one of my our clients, okay, I helped her write her book, right? And so her book was locked up inside of her, Raven, for 30 years. I think 30 years. The book was inside of her, but it never got a chance to be, but we helped her to author and publish her book and then get it to bestseller status. That's what we like to help our clients with. And guess what happened? This one
What
book,
happened?
this one book alone, and she's published more after that, helped open doors of opportunity for her. She was invited to become an international keynote speaker, and then she was also invited in to be on a radio program. And then it didn't turn out to be just one radio program; it turned out to be two radio shows. And the host of that radio show invited her to be her radio co-host for a season. So, and just books really open doors. They really open doors of opportunity for people. So that's why they're not just legacy books to pass on to our children, but they're also, right now, like you said, living legacies. We are helping people to open doors for them, right? And so I just like
Mhm.
telling that story, because it's, and the stories that were locked inside of our friend and our customer, now in time space reality. She can now hold up her book and say, "I'm a best-selling author. I'm a number one international best-selling author, and here's a book." And I have this book. Jim and I authored. Jim is my husband. We authored this book, and it's called "The Your 21st Century Business Card." Raven, I have business card. I have business cards, right? Well, when we go to events, when we go to live events or conferences, we collect a stack of these business cards, and after a while, I throw them away. But
Oh my God, I got them
if
all
I give
around
this
me,
to my yeah,
everywhere. Yeah.
if I give this to my ideal client or my ideal prospect, they're not going to throw this away, right? And they're even going to be,
Hmm.
if you're an author, you can even have this mailed to your C level meaning CEO, CIO, Chief Technology Officer, whatever it is. You can mail this to them or FedEx it to them, and it'll get to the top of the stack. The gatekeeper, it'll get past the gatekeeper, because they don't throw books away.
when I listen to your show, the couple times I have, for your voice is so perfect for something like this. First of all, let me say this. It really is, because this is kind of a just a very, very, what I want to say, heart to heart show and what you're doing. So people are very serious about listening to your show because they want to preserve these memories. A lot of times they just don't know how.
Right.
And when they come into you, they're getting so many golden nuggets, but more importantly, they are getting so many interesting stories of others and how they preserve it and stuff. So talk about, share to the listeners, when they can listen, and is it on Facebook Live? And who's your ideal listener? Yeah.
My ideal listeners are those who are serious about preserving their legacies. They are entrepreneurs, they are business owners, they are coaches, they are want to be authors or are already authors, and they want to be able to impart life lessons to their children. And so when they listen to the show, they get another life lesson, they get another career lesson, they get another idea that can help them progress in their parenting, in their grandparenting, in their business, in their entrepreneurship. So the show covers both the professional and the personal lives of people. It's not just one side of people, because I come at it from a more holistic. I'm not just an entrepreneur. I'm also a wife and a mother. So we've had people who are marriage coaches. We've had folks who are really, really experts at mastermind groups. So we've had so many different guests so that people can really tune in and gain all of these really golden nuggets from these experts so that they can use it and apply it in their personal lives as well as their professional lives. Because I ask all of my guests to talk about their personal life and their professional life as well. It's
Mix it
really
up,
cool,
mix it up.
right?
Yep. Yeah, mix it up a little bit. Well, because we do. I mean, we have a personal side and we have a business side, and it's good to talk about it because our listeners, of course, love to hear the personal side. There's so much business stuff going on, and
Totally.
it's nice to be able to tap into the real you. So, what inspired you, girl, to just become a radio host? Just put your other show aside, but is that something you thought for a while? Like for me, 13 years old, I used to sneak to the radio station. So it was embedded in me as a little kid. Can you imagine
Oh.
little Raven just sneaking to the station, neighborhood station?
Raven, I am totally like you. I cannot believe this. This is amazing. Ever since I was a teenager, I wanted to own a publishing company and a
Hmm.
radio and TV station. I had no idea how I was going to do it. I said,
Just knew
okay,
you were going to
this
do
is in my
it.
heart to do, but I have no idea. I don't have the resources because I know it costs millions and millions of dollars just to have a TV station and or a radio station. So now I can't believe it, but technology is so amazingly affordable, and you and I can become radio and are radio and TV talk show hosts, which is completely wonderful. I think really the playing field has been leveled. And folks, if you are listening to Raven's talk show right now, I really encourage you to tune into Raven because you can glean in so much information and wisdom and all the lessons that Raven has gotten from all these years that she's been a talk show Maven, and then start your own radio show, start your own TV show. I
Yep,
really encourage you all to do that.
absolutely. Well, thank you for that shout out. Absolutely. And I talk to my listeners all the time about, take your power, your voice, and your heartfelt message and take it to the world. And when I used to sneak to the station at 13, I knew that I wanted to be on radio, but I thought I was going to be spinning music. And as much as I like music, it was not the plan that God had for me. It was to go out there and interview the best of the best, just like you, and bring them to us and get it out to the world. And what was so cool tonight, and I really just noticed it like about an hour ago, that every single one of the guests are radio hosts. So I was like, I just got to tap into this, because I just think it's so exciting. When I first started in 2006, it was I would run into another host every now and then. So I think it's really cool that we have this option. We don't have to have an FCC test. Hey, Jackie, how
Right?
about that? Don't
Yeah,
have to take that test, baby.
I
A
love it.
$1 million to start your radio. We have Amazing Women of Power, reaches 4.5 radio side, and it airs in iTunes. And then we're just getting going on, and YouTube channels. There's so many different things that you can have you, and work your magic, take your voice to the world. Okay,
Exactly.
now I got to talk. Let's go back to the family because I love the family. Favorite family trip?
We went on a cruise, Raven. We went to Cozumel, we went to Isla Roatan, which is in Honduras, and then we went to Belize. So that was our favorite family trip because we could leave the kids in at Camp Ocean, which is the it's like a daycare kind of thing. But then we could take them when we were ready for them. They would come with us ashore, and we just love the beaches over there. And we got a chance to swim with stingrays and touch and kiss stingrays, Raven, stingrays. They
Wow,
loved it. They loved the whole
that had
cruise.
to be exciting.
Yeah,
Now,
that
did you take the
was.
little ones? You
Oh
took the
yeah.
little ones on that? Oh
Oh
wow,
yeah. They
that
kissed the
had to
stingrays
be
too.
so
They touched
exciting.
the stingrays. All of us did. All four of us did.
Wow, that is so awesome, awesome. I always like to have my listeners share something, maybe a silly story, something funny, something interesting, or what's the most interesting thing that you feel open enough to share with us?
Well, Raven, thank you for asking that. Well, I want to share with your audience that my dad, he used to be a ghost writer and the presidential speech writer for a very controversial person. It's the late Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos, and he's such a controversial person because he's known to have well, he declared martial law, and he in the Philippines that lasted for 9 years, and he is known to have looted the Philippines. And so anyway, my dad was in the military, and he used to be the ghostwriter for President Marcos and also the presidential speechwriter. Not a lot, but several speeches and several articles in the newspapers. My dad would ghostwrite for the late Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos. So, I don't know if you know about Imelda Marcos, who had the 3,000 pairs of shoes and so on and so forth. That this is the husband. So, yeah,
Okay,
kind of
okay.
controversial, but that's something interesting about me. My dad used to be a ghostwriter and presidential speechwriter for that Philippine president.
It has just been great having you come back. And, if you could give our listeners your three best tips. Now, this can be a business tip, your three best business tips, or three best life happening tips. That's what I call. So, wherever you feel like your heart wants to take you right now and speak directly to our listeners about your three best tips.
Awesome. Thank you, Raven. Well, number one, folks, I really encourage you to not let your stories die with you. I really want you to share your love story, your rags to riches stories, your failures, your success stories, your life hacks, not just with people in general, but to your descendants, to your children's children. Really preserve your life lessons. Number two, if you're married, here's my tip to you. I want you to every day have couch time. What is couch time? Wherever you are, whether it's on the couch or on in bed, I want you and your spouse to talk about your day, even if it's just 10 minutes, and just connect with each other. Okay. And number
That's
three,
important.
for everyone, my top core value is honor. You will never go wrong if you honor somebody, because with honor comes integrity, with honor comes kindness, with honor comes respect, with honor comes generosity. When you get this core value of honor in you, which is what my parents really inculcated into me, you get the chance to really connect with people, and you can relate to so many people because you honor them, you respect them, and you are a person of high integrity. And that's what I want to leave with your audience, Raven, for those who are married, for those who are listeners in general, and for those who are listening to your show and are thinking about preserving their life stories. Please do so. Please do so. I do not want your stories to get buried in the graveyard.
I love it. Yeah. So, how can people get in contact with you?
Well, my email address is customerstrategyacademy@gmail.com. Again, that's customerstrategyacademy@gmail.com. Or just go to Facebook. It's facebook.com/Jackie Morey. That's JACKIE MOREY. 777, and you can connect with me there. I have a personal, that's my page. I have a personal profile as well, so I still have room and space for new friends. So just connect with me on Facebook. Just search me out, Jackie Mori. And thank you so much, Raven. I really appreciate you so
Well,
much.
you're welcome, and cheers again. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo.
Yes, cheers. Next time I'll bring a real
I
drink,
love all those books
my
in the
hard cider.
background. And
Thank you.
I'm blinded by all those books behind you, Jackie. How long did it take you to get all those books behind you?
Oh my goodness. It took me, well, several
That's a
years.
lot.
This is our library collection. And so that's not all of them, though,
Mhm.
Raven. There's more in the garage, but we only have room for so much.
Oh my God.
So we read the others
Yeah.
and,
That's
switch them out
awesome.
sometime.
Well, love you, girl.
Love
And
you.
I look forward to being on your show because I know that's going to
Thank
happen
you.
pretty
Yes,
soon, and we'll have you
exactly.
back.
I'm going to wear my token hat here.
Oh yeah, I got my hat wraps for you.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
is that the
know my
one?
hat wrap.
Okay, yeah, we got
Give me my hat wraps, Raven. This
that.
this is so it looks so so blah. I need something like yours with bling, right? I want bling, bling,
Yeah, we
bling. So give me that bling, baby.
got them for you, girl. They are here. So we already talked about we're gonna get you one. I forgot what color you told me that you like.
I think
Is it
I
red or
like
what?
I think I like red, black. Well, I don't know if you have I might buy a black hat, so maybe red and blue and
Hmm.
brown.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, remember
for
they're
sure.
reversible, so we'll hook you up. All right. Keep
Thank
working on
you.
that husband for a Christmas present.
Yeah, that's right. I'm
All
going to
right.
talk with him right now.
All right, girl. We're going to take a quick commercial break and just remind you that this show is sponsored by my radio station, Amazing Women of Power, world's leading positive programming network. And this is the Talk Show Maven TV channel and the Talk Show Maven Tonight show. We got Jenny Q coming up, but first we got Parrish, and we can't wait to have her come on because she is going to be sharing some insider secrets on keeping things hot. Yes, yes. So we'll be back right after this commercial break.
Hi, this is Louis Gossett Jr.
This is Eva Marcel. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Chili, and you're listening to Amazing Women of Power.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, all right. Welcome back. Welcome back. I am glad you're here. If you're just joining us, this is the Talk Show Maven show. And I am Raven, the Talk Show Maven, known by me as the queen of interview conversion. And I teach people how to make some money, honey. Yeah, make some money using the power of their voice and going out there and doing exactly what Jackie does. Our next guest, Parrish Michelle Blair, does, and of course, Jenny Q does. Go out there and interview them. So if you're looking to start your own show, be sure to get in contact with me. We'd love to help. You've been doing this since 2010. Interview Jack Canfield, Les Brown. I could go on and on. Just so many people. But the thing is, I love it when I have I love it when I have a client like Nancy Adair, who just interviewed Eleanor Roosevelt's granddaughter. And I'm like, yes, yes, yes. It's exciting when that happens to get some of their knowledge for sure. Talk Show Maven Tonight show. We're so glad you're here. We're going to bring on our next guest. I'm going to go ahead and bring Jenny Q in. Everybody, this is Jenny Q. Jenny, she's an MC. She's a speaker. Oh my God, she's an amazing talk show host. And this girl, she can really help you in the live streaming, but in social media. I think she's social media princess is what I call her. So she's really cool at that too. She just wears a lot of hats, kind of like me, wears a lot of hats, got a lot going on. So Jenny, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I know you got a lot going on. I mean, you actually started doing speaking a lot lately, a lot more.
Yeah. That's a great question. It really all kind of started with my show, and then that just kind of took me to other opportunities. With live streaming, I've had so many opportunities come my way, and it's just been super exciting. And I just keep saying yes to all these new experiences, and I'm having a blast.
I know. So what do you talk on? What do you speak on?
Yeah, so it really depends on the event, right? So it can be anything from social media to live streaming, or even just life experiences, things I've learned along the way, stuff like that. Whatever the situation calls for.
Now, where the MCing come in? Is that new?
That it's all new. So Raven, in mid 2015, like so many people in the live streaming community, I really was just bitten by the bug, right? With Periscope. And then from Periscope, I went on to Blab, and I started the show. It was called the Daily Q Show then. And with the Daily Q Show, I interviewed people. Yeah, you remember. I interviewed people who demonstrate excellence in their field. And had an absolute blast doing that. And then that just kind of led to moderating opportunities, emceeing opportunities, and hosting opportunities and speaking opportunities, because I just loved it. And we're looking now at a picture. Is that picture up? Of the Women Ignite conference that was just held a couple weeks ago in Boise, Idaho. And that's me on the stage over to the right. And I'm moderating the panel of the women. It was the topic was amazing. It was on collaboration and how women can truly support each other. And Shelly Gartman is there on the left, and Shelly is the founder of Women Ignite, and her vision is phenomenal. What she's put together is amazing. She has put together a 2-day conference and trade show, highlighting women doing amazing things, but it's all professional development and personal development. So a lot of the conferences you get either or, and pardon me?
Yeah.
And so
with a little mixture there.
Yeah, she's combined it. And Shelly, her vision is powerful. It's an international organization, so you'll be hearing and seeing a lot more. I'm excited to be a part of the core team of Women Ignite. And what Shelly has done, she's a life coach, and so what she's done is she works. You've heard of the Gallup Strengths Finder, so work in your strengths. So she's compiled a team of women with very complementary strengths to work to really bring this vision of an international women's conference, and it is just phenomenal. When I first attended one of her events, I just thought, this is national level. I mean, it just happens to be in Boise, Idaho, where I live, but I was like, the quality is national and international. Like, this is something the world needs to see. People who left the conference with not just inspiration, but with motivation and actionable steps to take to go out there and go for the next thing, that they have coming up in their lives.
How many people showed up?
There were between 350 and 400.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. And
Yeah,
how
it
often do
was.
they do the event?
It's annual here in Boise, but keep your ears open and your eyes open for more events coming to different parts of the country and the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. Awesome. I
yeah,
love it. I love it. And
yeah,
there you are
yeah.
speaking. I like this other picture of you where you're laughing and looking cute, but I like this one of you speaking. And I can just tell from seeing you in this picture, girl, you have lost some weight.
I have. I've been working at it. Like I've been actually working at it.
I
Because
know you got to tell us about that. I mean, you look great anyway. I mean, first of all, you got the cutest face. You remind me of Valerie
oh my
Vertinelli.
gosh,
What was her name?
Valerie Bertinelli. That's my
Yes.
very favorite compliment. Yeah, I've been told that quite some time. I just think she's adorable. So thank you for that.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. You look so much like her, and especially on this picture where you're holding the microphone. But I can definitely see the curves, girl. I'm like, wow. So I know you got someone on your show that does a segment that's trained you. So tell us about that, because inquiring minds like me
Yeah.
wants to know.
Okay, so here's the story. And you know what? My whole I mean, I'm like so many people, especially women. I have struggled with weight issues my whole entire life. I've done the yo-yo thing up and down. And actually there was a point where I had given up. Like I was just like, this is just what it is. I'm just going to embrace my being very overweightness and focus on things that I felt like I had control over. In fact, here's just to tie a couple stories together, Raven. When Women
Okay.
Ignite first started, I had just kind of given up on life. And you know, we all get there. And it's not a story that I love to share, except for that I hope that somebody somewhere hears it and says, oh my gosh, I've given up on life too. So maybe there's hope. So what happened was the first time that I heard of Women Ignite happening in Boise, I didn't even feel like I was igniting my life enough to be a part as an attendee. So I didn't even go.
Right,
And then
right.
cut to 3 years
Oh
later,
my goodness.
3 years later, I was on the stage co-emceeing and moderating. And so that change wasn't
Amazing.
overnight. That change was a process of things. And it started in January of 2015. I finally went to a doctor and I got a diagnosis for an autoimmune disorder. And so then I can finally treat things for what they really were. So I started with nutrition. I started with the paleo diet. I lost a significant amount of weight. And again, I got to a plateau where I thought, you know what? This is good enough. This is good enough. I'm having fun in life. I'm doing well. It's good enough. But then I was actually the host of a Love and Light Always event in Las Vegas. It was a 2-day event and I was hosting the event, and that's where I met Glenn Dawson. And this was in June of this year. And I met Glenn Dawson. He's a trainer, an online trainer. And when we came home, and we didn't have that much conversation at the event, but when we came home, I sent him a quick little message because I wanted to start running again. I just felt like that was something I wanted to do. And I just had a quick question about it was like, do I eat before I go or after? And is it protein and is it carbs? He said, let's get on the phone. So we got on the phone. We had a 45-minute conversation. I was absolutely blown away at this guy's knowledge. And I was just like, I have to work with you. Like I have to. He had answers. He had information that I had never heard. And that's after a lifetime of yo-yo dieting and reading all the books. And so I started working with him.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I started working with him. I made a 6-month commitment. And I said, Glenn, I know myself. I want you on my show every single week to hold me accountable. And so I recommend that if anybody's struggling, because you definitely stay committed and compliant when you have your audience bugging you all the time. I get text messages. I get all kinds of stuff, you know, people keeping me on task. But even that aside, so Glenn, he's like, he does this thing where it's like, I do weight training and I do intermittent fasting, and he resets the hormones. He resets the fat hormones through this process of whatever it is he's doing. So in 4 months, I've lost 30 pounds and lost 7% body fat. And that's after I had plateaued, right? And I'm not done yet, girl.
That's amazing.
I'm just telling you that.
I love when people lose weight because I remember before when I lost a lot of weight,
Yeah.
I lost a lot of weight. But then after a while, it started making my face look a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sunk in
Mm-hmm.
a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then it didn't look healthy. So he lets you know what's too much. And is he going by body fat too?
Yeah,
Not
he's
just
going
weight?
by body fat. Totally by body fat. In fact, he said on our first phone call, "What are your goals? And if you tell me weight loss, I can't work with you." Yeah, because it's all about health. It's all about body fat loss, and it's about being healthy. And so one of the things that we were celebrating last week is that I hit a body fat loss, under the threshold. He said where I reversed like a significant amount of health risks or something. And so that was super exciting. And I had given up. I had just been like, I'm just going to, be happy with myself. And, but I've got to say life is a little bit better when you're in control. And I think that's the biggest gain that I've had is just being in control of something that for my whole life I wasn't in control of.
Once you can really feel like you got this licked and you see yourself, especially once you start seeing yourself look different. You see it in your face, you see it in your clothes. And I bet you're having fun shopping, aren't you?
I'm having so much fun. You're so right. Like I went in and I bought 2 sizes down and I was like, they all fit. Like the jeans were fitting. I was like, what? This does not suck. Yeah, for sure.
That's the most fun thing when you lose and you start saying, wow, I don't have to wear sleeves all the time. I can get out there and I can dress the way I want. And fun becomes shopping again. Because really, I know, because right now I'm not the size I want to. And I know it's a difference. Ladies, you know this. It's a difference. We shop, but we really are just buying anything. The love, the passion for shopping is not the same. And it's not about the size because some women, look better with some meat on them. I'm one of those. But you still want to get, like you said, the body fat. You want to get the form that you want in your body. You want to look the way you want to look. And you don't want to have to wear sleeves in the damn summertime.
Well, that's true. That's true. And you know what? Raven, I just glanced at the comments and I just see Glenn Dawson just popped in and he's watching. And so he's watching the live broadcast. But what I want to say, and this one is key for me at least. And that is I had enough in my life of trying to have results with weight loss. Coming from a place of shame and coming from a place of feeling bad about myself and beating myself up and all that. And through all of the shifts that I have made through the years, I finally came from a place of love, self-love. Yeah. I finally came from just saying, I care about myself enough to take care of myself and to love myself. And that sounds kind of trite, but I would recommend that if you're doing it from a place of shame or embarrassment, number one, it's not going to feel as good. And I just don't think it's going to last. That's just my opinion. So
that's that roller coaster type or yo-yo type of weight loss. And that's for sure. And then another thing is you really have to be inspired to do it. Sometimes it takes a health thing. Sometimes it just takes you seeing yourself in a way that you're saying, this is not me,
right.
So whatever inspires you and moves you to do it and lose whatever you want to lose without feeling pressure, without feeling the shame, but you really want to get in there and do it because I know, Glenn, and you're doing some work because I've heard you talk about walking and exercising. Talk about that a little bit. And then I want to talk about your show, share that a little bit more with the listeners. So let's wrap this part up by sharing a little bit of what you do to keep it going, kind of your regimen.
So honestly, I can give Glenn the credit for this because working with him as an online trainer, he does all the workouts for me. He sends me the stuff. He says, do this workout. I go to I have to go to the gym and I have to do the workout. And yes, I have to implement and execute the food that he gives me, but I didn't have to learn all of it. So I can just go and do it. So I go to the gym 4 times a week and do the lifting that is specifically designed for me in that week because he does an overhead squat. So I have to send him a video every week. And what he does is an assessment on my muscle imbalance so that he knows which lifts to give me the following week. And then he gives me the nutrition that I need for that specific week based on my body fat numbers. So he's tracking all of that. So if to tell you that what I do is intermittent fasting, going to the gym, and eating certain food, I think would be doing a disservice because there's so much more in the science of it. But the other thing is I have to sleep 7 hours a night, which I don't always do, and that's might be one of the hardest parts for me because I don't like to sleep. I like to do stuff.
So that's really interesting that sleep would have a lot to do with it. That is something. Hey, you're tuned in. You're listening to the Talk Show Maven Show, and this is Jenny Q. If you want someone to at your event, make sure you get in contact with Jenny. Jenny, let them know where to contact you at.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me on Facebook. Just Google, just not Google, but go to Facebook and go to the Jenny Q Show, or you can go to thejennyqshow.com, or you can find me on Twitter at Jenny Q. Yeah.
So, Jenny, let's talk about the Jenny Q Show. Now, it airs on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock, and it's more of a variety show type show. And I know it's a lot different from your other show.
Yes.
But you're like me here with the Talk Show Maven Tonight Show. I think we probably was in the same zone, and you and I have a lot in common. Right. And we both felt like, I just want to have a show to have fun.
Exactly.
Forget all the preliminaries. That's how I felt. Is that how you feel?
Absolutely. I just thought, you know what, for Facebook, it feels like what would be fun is just to do something fun and a little more light and entertaining. And, so I thought, ooh, that'd be kind of fun to do a variety show. So I have 3 to 5 guests on every week, and there's a variety of topics. And, you just never know what you're going to get. And we have fun.
No pressure.
Exactly.
That's what I like about it, too. And it's pretty cool. So what's next for Jenny Q? I know you're thinking about taking, what is the Ignite? What's the name of the event you spoke at again?
Yeah, Women Ignite. And I'm working with Shelly G. And it's kind of funny, right? Because she goes by Shelly G and I go by Jenny Q. Oh. And so I'm working with Shelly G and her team. So you can find that if you go to Facebook and look for Women Ignite Idaho. And just keep up to date on that. More speaking coming up, and live streaming. I'm super into live streaming, and so if anybody has any questions with live streaming, hit me up, because I'm pretty excited about all aspects of live streaming, really. I was going to start like Facebook Live or YouTube Live or Periscope. Now with Periscope Producer, lots of cool things.
There's so many of it now.
Yeah.
You see Periscope and Blab. I kind of seen you on both at the same time. What got you to doing that at first?
I just was introduced to Periscope, and I just was fascinated. And that just one thing led to another. From Periscope, someone told me about Blab. When I got on Blab, I was like, oh my gosh, I can start doing interviews. And I had never wanted to do that before, ever, for a day in my life. So your guess is as good as mine. What got me started? That's
Well, you're good at it, and it's fun. It's fun. I think anybody that can hold a conversation and, and really, are inquisitive, ask good questions, makes a great host, and just are very authentic, which you definitely are, both of all of that. I should say all of that and above. Yeah. And you definitely have the live streaming down pat, but you also have the social media. Just share with the listeners your best 3 tips for tying in your show with social media.
Okay. So to tie in the show with social media, the first thing that you want to do, well, anything and everything around social media has to do with building relationships. So think of anything that you do in real life to build a relationship and do that online. And I'll tell you what you don't do in real life to build a relationship, and that is you don't sell and you don't talk about yourself. So think about that with social media and promoting anything. So you don't want to go into social media and sell and talk about yourself. Always engage with people, always share what they're doing, promote what they're doing, engage with what they're doing, ask questions, make it fun. And then number 2 would be authentic. people want to really get to know you. They don't want to know a persona that you've put together. And I think that's where live streaming really kind of, bumped a few people out of the game, because you can't just create a polished profile anymore. People want to really get to know who you are. And then I think the third one, more practical, hands-on, is when you're talking about when you're sharing stuff, use the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the things that you share should be about other people and what they're doing, and only 20% should be about you, yourself, your products, or your service.
Yeah, that's what I love about, when you're interviewing, how can it be anything but that?
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, because it's all about the guests and what they have to bring to the table for your audience, and matching them up really well. I know one thing I learned early on was everybody is not a fit for your show. Even if you like them, they may not be a fit for your show. Wouldn't you agree?
Right. I totally agree. Totally agree. Because when you're doing a show, you have to honor your audience, and kind of, after you do it for a while, you kind of get a feel of what your audience likes and what they want to see. Yeah.
And that's what you have to give them. And you can't mix messages with them, because otherwise they feel like, you're a traitor.
Right.
They really do. They're like, well, wait a minute. I thought your show was about this, and now you're doing this. What's up with that?
Right.
And they will let you know. They will let you know. Well, you are awesome. We love you. And I'm so glad that we finally got our timing right. She knows why I'm laughing, because me and her, we're like so funny when we're trying to connect with each other, even for a doggone conversation.
I know it. It's crazy. It is crazy.
It's crazy. We're texting each other. Did I say today or tomorrow? Did I say 4 or 5? It's kind of like, it's so crazy. But I remember when we actually got a chance to meet at the Periscope Summit, right?
Yes, in New York City.
Yeah, and it was just like, okay, we got each other. We got each other. And it's just been a great connection since. So thank you, my friend.
Raven, thank you so much for having me on. Thank you. It's just such an honor to be on your show, and just to know you and call you friend. So thank you so much for that.
You're very welcome. You keep losing that weight, but don't get too thin now.
Nah, I won't.
Keep it sexy there. You might want to stay tuned for Parish Michelle Blair, because she's going to be coming up talking about sex, love,
okay, I'm gonna watch
happiness.
her.
Okay,
Hi.
good deal. Hey, sweet pea, you made it. How you doing?
Yay! I am so happy. This has been a very eventful day, and it's just perfect that I'm ending it here on the show. And like you said, it's just time to relax and unwind and not take things so seriously. I think that's really important.
I know. This is my fun show. I don't even try to get this one right. I mean, at this time of night, I couldn't do it anyway. I had to speak today and then rush home, and then there's always technical stuff going on. I know you're going to be talking to us about honoring masculine energy and how to give your man the pleasure he deserves. We got one quick commercial break, and then while you're drinking, and then we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, it's going to be Parish here, and she is going to share the goods. You promised to share the goods, Parish?
I got a lot of goods to give.
You promised to share the goods, right?
I promised to share the goods.
We'll be right back right after this. Stay right there. Don't go nowhere. This is the Talk Show Maven Tonight Show.
You are listening the talk show Maven Tonight Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, time to turn it up. We've got more exciting guests, more fun, and more surprises. So, welcome back to the Talk Show Maven Tonight Show with celebrity interviewer, award-winning host, the queen of interview marketing and conversion, Raven Blair Glover.
I was listening to that music during the commercial break. I was really getting down. But okay, so I wanted to get into this because I think this is it's for the men because this the month of November. There's a lot of conversation going on about male health and making them aware of their prostate health and you know the growing numbers of people who are dealing with prostate disorders and disease. Just like in the month of October, I didn't give awareness to the disease. I talked about health and beauty and all the fascinating facts about the woman's breast. So when it comes to this month, I want to encourage men to love themselves and to take care of themselves on an emotional level because that really does affect your health. But also, I want to get the women involved. So in this particular episode, Raven, I want to talk about women giving their men all the pleasure they desire. And some women might go, "Woo, tell me more." And other women are like, "No, he already got enough." So I don't know which one you are. I don't know which one you are, but I do want to tell you, just talking to the ladies for a minute, men, if you could be patient with me. Women, get comfortable asking for what you want too. So what I'm hearing on a regular basis, because I talk to a lot of men, married men, committed, loyal men, and they say their women don't initiate enough. And
What?
I was going to say our family's a little bit different, Raven. I don't think this is applies to us.
That's some hot,
But
spicy blood up in
yeah,
here.
we're a little bit different. But you're getting me off track, making me
I'm
laugh.
sorry.
Okay, but for the women that you feel like maybe it is your nature to be touchy feely, but maybe he hurt you, maybe you've been arguing or you're going through something. Remember, if you followed me during the month of October, or if you didn't, you can go to my page, but there is healing in your breast. The studies show that if a man or anyone really, but they said men, stare at women's breasts for 10 minutes, it's the equivalent to 45 minutes of aerobic activity. So that's why they can't keep their eyes on make eye contact. It did naturally. And then when you hold a breast, it's very soothing and it releases stress. So we're really made I don't want to exclude the relationships where, there's two women who love each other or two men, but to have a fluid conversation right now, I'm just addressing heterosexual relationships, but we're made for them. Our bodies are made for them. They're made for us. But sometimes when they're always the ones that are the initiators, and then they're the ones that, are missing the touch. And when we were going into that, I think a little bit last week about communication and everything, men don't ever get touched. If you think about it, comparatively speaking to us, kids touch us, we touch each other, we hug our friends, and men, of course, want to touch us, but men don't get that same thing because they can't stand too close to another heterosexual man because they don't want him to think, they don't look at each other in their eyes, and they don't touch women at work because they don't want to get any problems. So just think about that. Just the way our culture is, men get touched less. And on let's just say he approaches you at the wrong time, and then you say, not right now, I'm really busy. So it's like he hasn't gotten the touch that you've gotten all throughout your week. And then if you reject him, that makes it difficult. Men they're more likely to be rejected and less likely to be touched. So they might be asking for a lot from you. Sometimes it might feel that way, but I want to give you some suggestions to where you don't feel that way. You feel like, I want to do that. So I don't know if you're showing the
Yeah.
visuals, but there's
Well,
one.
I'm ready. I'm going to start showing. Yeah, I'm going to start showing the
Yeah.
hands. I just want to give a shout out to Jenny Q for listening in, because you said something about breasts and aerobics, and you know she's in the exerciser right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm just kidding, Jenny. Love you. But we're showing the hands now. So
Yeah.
tell us about
So
that.
okay. So what I saw that, and it brought to mind all this research that I'm collecting, because all month it's all about the men. And just think about that. And it's not just your husbands or your lovers or your boyfriends or whoever you're dating. It's your sons, it's your uncles, it's your dad. Men get touched less. Really think about that. Think about how many times we touch each other like girl and laugh. And of course, again, men want to touch us. They don't get that, so just think about that, and they're going throughout their day. And okay, next.
Mhm.
Okay, so you see how she's the initiator, let's just assume it started that way. That look how happy he feels, because he knows that woman wants to touch him, versus he touched her first. Now he's got to get her in the mood, and now okay, and then it's not every relationship's like that, but that's a common thing that people tell me about men. They want they want that affection, they want that touch, not so much that it has to lead to sex, especially when men are having issues with that, but they still want the intimacy. But you think that it's just about the sex, and then you reject them and they don't get anything. So just think about all of that,
Mhm.
and so rejection and less touch. And then women that all of a sudden look up, and I am by no means blaming anybody in any scenario, but when you look up and you think, how could he have done that? Think about when you think, well, people say that, well, it takes two people for that situation to happen, and then there's all those details in between. But there is something that we could say as women. I know I have room to grow, and I'm single right now, but I'm
Yeah.
working on that. So again, with the focus going back to the men, let's go to the next slide.
Okay. Next slide, please. Yes, this is the one. The
Right.
lady.
And yeah, and this
Mhm.
is again where
Are
I
they
wanted
arguing
to.
or what?
No, this is my interpretation of this. Who knows what they're doing? I see that he's basically saying, "Why not tonight, babe? You said last week we do it." And she's like, "I don't know. I think I have to wash my hair or whatever." But it's like, I'm being silly. But basically, that to me was a representation of, I saw a meme where it says, when a man's girlfriend is mad at him, then no, it's like basically he says, whoever gets mad, it ends up that he has to say sorry. And so, we kind of have that. I mean, society jokes about it. Women are always right, and just say yes, dear. But see how these things stack up against men. And over a
Hmm.
time, you think, where is this coming from? We've been married all these years. Okay, next
Yeah.
slide.
They're in the shower now.
Now, and I was going to say, okay, so let's close our eyes for a minute, everybody. Bound, chicka, bound, bound. No. Let's close our eyes. And just imagine this, ladies. If you were in the shower, and where you normally are rushing and you're talking outside, he needs to take a shower, you're in the shower, and he's doing whatever he's doing. But what if you opened up the shower and said, get in here, I just want to feel your hair? What do you think he would do? I think he would
Probably
get in
jump on
there.
in. Yeah,
Right.
jump on in.
And get
Yeah.
in, and then just imagine that water going down both of your bodies, and you're connecting, and you're smelling the soaps, and you're feeling his hair or his bald head, and you're feeling his body. It's like, this is not about sex. This is just a sensual moment.
Yeah.
So I'm
Connecting.
just
It's
saying,
about
yeah,
connecting. Yeah.
right. And
Hmm.
then if you get into the sensual connection, your body will do the rest. I promise. So,
Yeah.
you invite those moments, and if you even talk, if you let him know, hey, hon, I know I can be more affectionate. Parrish is brilliant, and she's doing these great videos. And I was just joking, but I've been watching videos, and I could see where I could be more open. When I initiate, let's not make it lead to sex unless I do it, but just let me initiate in creative ways so I can get out of my shell. It's like, that's your
Yeah.
mate. You should be able to be vulnerable and say, if you're feeling insecure or whatever, that's your very best friend. That's the man that you're going to lay down with every night. Be open and honest with him about who you are. And then he understands you better. You understand him better. The situation still might be what it is, but you're not guessing what each other are thinking. And that takes a lot of pressure off of men, because they're real simple. I know they would say that, but now that I'm getting more and more friends and they're just being very genuine, I'm like, these guys are really simple. They just want to serve and love their wives, come home and watch TV and, see I mean, they just want to have a happy life with a lot of sex and intimacy and laughter and a woman that loves being a woman. And it's
Yeah.
simple as that. So anyway, I just want to encourage the sisters to embrace your femininity and see how that helps your man. And it's going to make wonderful sexual synergy between you, and not just you and your mate, but if we all practice a little bit our own way, that adds more love to the planet. And we need that right now, right?
Oh yeah, sex
Mhm.
makes a happy world.
Right. See, I
No,
wasn't even talking
absolutely.
about sex. I was talking about love. You took it
Oh,
there.
connecting
See,
love.
I'm sober. I'm sober. I'm drinking
No,
water. What are you sipping on?
I'm not drinking water.
Okay, I
And
didn't think so.
well, thank you so much. I love it when you come on because you just keep it real and you're direct and that's what we want. But it is when I look at this picture of them just kind of holding hands and playing handsies and stuff, just that alone, just shows the
Mhm.
connection. I think we
Yeah.
talked about this last week, Parrish, when we talked about how all of us, sometimes we're with our mate and we got our phones and
Mhm.
everybody's doing their own thing and we don't have there's that disconnect, or
Yep.
someone's watching the TV, kind of like this person here, this couple here, one's
Mhm.
talking, one's looking away, or, and we just got to get the closeness back. And even if we work and in a business or we're working families, we need to find that connection. And I love that you brought this because it's a pleasant reminder. One thing I know for sure, um, God forbid, if it ever comes to the time where one of you are ill, you know, and you can't do the things you want to do, you start thinking about things like that. When you lay in there and you're thinking, wow, you're not saying I wish I would have worked more. You're like, I wish I would have, spent more time with my family or my time with my loved one and had these connecting times, these great connection times. And it makes for better communicating too, right? Better
And
communication.
right. And then for the men that are by themselves and you're not in a relationship, I got a lot of callers that were single men. I'm liking to I
Hmm.
like that I hear more men are taking the initiative to, get into themselves. And if you're single, it's not a bad thing and you don't have to chase skirts. You can just develop yourself. More and more men are doing that. And they're saying, there's no rush. I've had kids, I've been married. I want to really
Yeah.
get to know myself and I want to get to know the woman. So I think that's a good health step. All these emotional, anything you can do to live a better emotional and well balanced life mentally and energetically, that will affect your health in a positive way. When you do it off, it messes it up, but you can do it better and improve it. I mean, and you can do whatever it
Absolutely.
is that you're doing medically, but living a holistic life just supports what you're doing with your medication. Perhaps you can get off your medication eventually, or you can, lower the dosages or whatever. It's like nothing can hurt by loving better and opening up to love, loving more and receiving more, not just giving. Because I know your audience, Raven, are a bunch of givers. So
Hmm.
I know you guys are all, and women are huge givers, but just think about it. You can't receive when you're giving, and you can't cheat and say, "Oh no, my gift is just knowing people are happy." No, that's not balanced, because that other, there
Yeah.
has to be an exchange. So just in doing that, allowing men to do that a little bit more, because some women might think we're always the givers, but really it's the man's conditioned and pressured to, you're not a good man, you're not a strong man, you're soft. If you can't handle it and toughen up and do it, that means a man. And that's not a problem if that's what you see masculinity, but just know that's the man that will never ask, babe, can I just lay in your lap? That's usually not that guy, because he has to feel strong and he doesn't want to feel weak. So when you initiate it, that's such a huge blessing. Just rubbing his head, that's a big thing. Huge.
Yeah, it sure is. And it doesn't take, like you said, a lot. It's just, doing that one thing to let them know, okay, I see you. We're not just sitting here ignoring each other. I know you had a busy day and you're
Mhm.
making some type of connection. So, Parrish, tell everybody how
Yes.
they can get in contact with you. And we're going to get ready to close up the show. And I want to pull a name for somebody for the drawing.
Oh,
for the
awesome. That's going to
magazine.
be exciting. Yay. Okay, I'll get off quick then. Okay, Parish Michelle Blair at Facebook. My website is parishblair.com, Parish Blair TV. And I have a weekly show, The Voice of Love, that gives a lot of similar content that I'm sharing here. So thank you so much, Raven. I love you with all my heart. This was fun. And I feel more relaxed. I really do, just spending time here.
I'm glad you brought up your show because I almost forgot about that. And I was sharing earlier that the most interesting thing that this is the first time I have 3 show hosts on.
Oh,
So
wow.
make sure you check
Yeah.
out her show as well. Yeah, Jenny
Mhm.
Q and of course Jackie,
Oh,
the
that's
host too.
right.
But thank
That's
you
really
so
cool.
much.
Okay. Bye. Mwah. I'm sending you
We
love and
appreciate
light.
you being on. So I want to pull a name though for the draw. Let's see if anybody knows Robert. Have him give me a call at 818-941-7617. So Robert Hicks, if you're out there, give me a call. We love to make sure that if you have a business, you get a full ad, a page ad, or you could give it to someone else. So Robert, if you're out there, give me a call. 818-941-7617. Guys, we're going to wrap up and we're going to play Michael Senoff. So we're going to go off and then come back on and play this awesome interview I did with Michael. He's one of my mentors that I absolutely love. And one thing about Michael is he invented I think it was some weight weights, and he's invented this real cool thing for your cell phones. If you got these big iPhones, you know how they drop and fall. Was so cool because he invented these, and he's going to tell you all about it. So I'm gonna actually close out and start back up, and we are going to make sure that you hear from Michael Senoff. You're going to love this interview because it will show you how you can take a dream, you can take a problem, create a solution, and look for angles that would make it different, even if it's out there on the market. And you can do like Michael and like I did myself. You can actually become an inventor and patent things, and it's a great feeling to have, and still do what you love to do. But all of us, how many times have we said, "I thought about that"? Well, he's going to tell you how important it is to go with it and to not, just think about it, but to actually take it into action. So we're going to close out right now. Thanks for coming. I'm Raven, a talk show Maven. Thank you, my guests, Jenny Q and Jackie and Parish Michelle Blair. I'm so excited you guys were here, and I want to thank you for coming, guys. Thank you for listening in, and make sure you follow our guests, follow them, and reach out to them, connect with them. And don't forget to connect with your man or your woman or your significant other as well, like Paris says. We get so much into technology, we forget that. This is the Talk Show Maven TV channel, and you're listening to Talk Show Maven tonight. I'm Raven, the Talk Show Maven. I'm getting ready to get my drink and my man, and I will see you guys next time, next Thursday night. Until then, I'm going to run a quick commercial. We're going to go out and come back and start it up again so you can hear from Michael Senoff. And this man is amazing. Wait till you hear what he has to say. You're going to absolutely love, love, love it. So stay tuned.
Be sure to join us next week for the Talk Show Maven Tonight Show for more interviews, celebrity news, and business reviews, along with a whole lot of fun and surprises. Live each and every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific. If you would like Raven to help you create a powerful and profitable show around your passion or heartfelt message, simply give her a call at 800-431-0842. That's 800-431-0842. You can catch all of Raven's popular shows by going to facebook.com/TalkShowMavenLiveTV. See you next week.